Hey everyone, welcome back to the show. It's Lamont here, and today I've got a really special guest with me. We're diving into a topic that affects so many people around the world traveling with a disability and why we need some major changes in airline policies. Please welcome Antoinette. Antoinette, thank you for joining us today.
Hi, Lamont. Thanks for having me. I'm really excited to get into this conversation.
First of all, how's everything going? How are you feeling after your trip?
Overall, I'm doing well. Thanks. The trip itself was an eye opener and a bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. It's those unexpected moments that can teach you a lot, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I'm sure our listeners are eager to hear all about it. So let's start from the beginning. What got you interested in going to Gibraltar? And how did the journey begin?
Well, Gibraltar has always fascinated me with its rich history and mix of cultures. It's like standing at a literal crossroad between Europe and Africa. I planned this trip for months, keen on exploring the rock's unique landmarks and nature reserves.
Sounds like an incredible destination. But let's talk about the actual travel part. What were your initial thoughts and expectations as a traveler with specific needs?
I had my expectations set pretty high. After all, with the ADA and all the regulations in place, I assumed airlines would have made the necessary accommodations seamless. However, my experience turned out to be quite different.
That really needs to change. But let's dig into what specifically happened. From what I understand, your issues started as soon as you tried to board. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, I was all set to board British Airways from NYC to London. You know, the staff was quite courteous, helping me onto the ramp with my scooter. But as I settled into seat 36J, I realized something was off.
Ah, the infamous seating arrangement.
Exactly. Despite confirming an aisle seat when I booked, I was assigned a window seat that posed quite a challenge, not just for me, but for the staff too.
You'd think assignments like these would be airtight, considering the importance of accessibility.
That's what I thought too, but it seems policies are there, but the execution is quite lacking. The staff had a tough time getting me into that window seat. It was awkward for everyone involved.
A lot of listeners might assume airlines have special training for these situations. Did it feel like the staff was adequately prepared?
Not in my case. I'm sure some airlines do, but this team seemed rather unsure of how best to help me. They tried hard, but it wasn't smooth sailing. And then there was the matter of seating policy.
Were you informed about why certain seats are allocated to disabled passengers?
Yes, eventually, they explained that the protocol is geared towards emergency evacuations. Disabled passengers should ideally be in a window seat so others can exit quickly, but the chaos it creates isn't negligible. There needs to be a balance, don't you think?
Absolutely. And that's where standardized practices across the board could come in handy. Did you encounter any more challenges during the flight?
Yes, it didn't stop there. For instance, there was confusion about whether I needed to travel with a companion. Their policy seems to require it for passengers needing assistance. However, I hadn't been informed when booking.
That must have been stressful. Was there any room for negotiation with the flight staff on that?
I tried my best to assure them I wouldn't require in flight assistance, hoping they'd allow me to manage until London. But the inability to reach a consensus about safety protocols eventually led to my disembarkation.
That's just unimaginable. How did you manage with luggage and the scooter post disembarkation?
Rolling off that plane felt like retreating, but the wheelchair staff were quite accommodating, ensuring I had my scooter back in one piece. My luggage, unfortunately, wasn't as lucky. Broken handle and inconvenience, but certainly not the worst.
What a situation. It sounds like a logistical hurdle at every turn. Have you reached out to authorities about this case?
I have, yes. My conversations with the Federal Office for the Americans with Disabilities Act and the Department of Transportation have started. I'm hopeful they can advocate for stronger protections and later accommodations for the disabled.
It seems like you're taking all the right steps. What would you say is the most crucial change airlines need to make?
First and foremost, better staff training is vital. Everyone, from booking agents to flight attendants, should understand the ins and outs of assisting disabled passengers. Policies need to be consistent and clear across the industry.
That clarity would likely ease a lot of tension, ensuring passengers like you aren't caught off guard. It helps everyone.
Exactly. Plus, having advocates in key industries can only contribute to a greater understanding and empathy in designing inclusive travel experiences.
So true. Let's wrap things up. If there's one piece of advice you could give to fellow travelers in similar situations, what would it be?
Don't shy away from asking questions and being explicit about your needs. Advocacy starts with you, and the more we voice our experiences, the more others can learn from them. And importantly, don't get discouraged.
Empowering words indeed. Antoinette, thank you so much for sharing your story. I have no doubt your experiences will bring awareness to many. Keep being the advocate you are.
Thank you, Lamont. It's a pleasure to share, and together, I think we can promote a better travel environment for all.
Absolutely. And that marks the end of another eye-opening discussion. Thanks again to Antoinette for being with us today. Until next time, take care, everyone, and keep advocating for change. Goodbye.